Dan Crenshaw, the one-eyed wonder worm, is going to take it to Tucker Carlson. He means business tonight on Braver Than the Rest. I got money on Tucker Carlson.
I'll take Tucker.
He will talk him to death. That's what's going to happen. He's going to sit him in a chair and make him listen.
Mm-hmm.
So
as little as I like Dan Crenshaw, he's not my favorite person. I'm going to put my money on it. If it goes fisticuffs, I'm going to go, I got to put it on Dan Crenshaw.
Yeah, I would too. I saw it
in a fist fight.
In a fist fight.
Yeah.
I saw a fantastic meme the other. Or is it Babylon B? Y'all saw it. It's Babylon B. Dan Crenshaw walking into a poll, the depth perception thing. Like,
No.
like
I didn't see that one. Let me see.
I actually did
I mean,
not.
because it's going to be. Here's the problem with it. Yeah, Crenshaw in hand-to-hand combat. Absolutely. The problem is he's got no depth perception. So he'd be like, swing and a miss, swing and a miss. Like,
I got you. Yes.
Yeah.
There was one that said the screen was slashed out. So you could only see half of it. And it said Dan Crenshaw versus what Dan Crenshaw sees fighting Tucker. And it was like showed half his face.
Yeah, half a Tucker. Yeah. I mean,
What was it? I've got to find this one.
If there's which
with it.
eye is it? Is it his right eye?
It's his right eye, yeah.
So if Tucker throws a left hook,
it's over. He blindsided. And you can't, you literally can say it's blindsided.
Yes.
So tonight, Braver Than the Rest, coming to you live from Bristol, Tennessee, home of the Mountain Dew.
Well, no, we're not the home.
well,
No.
Dr. Enough.
Hey,
No.
BMS.
Johnson's-
Bristol Motor Speedway. That's all we got.
Bristol Motor Speedway.
That's all we got.
Yeah.
welcome to the Tri-Cities.
There you go.
There's gotta be something else. You know what we don't have?
What?
We have not yet had a plane land upside down. So that is a
Sure.
plus.
That is true.
That is a plus.
Yep.
What do we have going on tonight besides Crenshaw
Oh, boy.
boxing match? We've got a lot of things happening. I just heard tonight pulling into the driveway, which apparently isn't new, that Barack Obama has received like $39 million in royalties for Obamacare.
So he's still getting money, huh?
Yeah, I haven't confirmed that, but it came from Harris. What's his name?
David J.
Harris.
Harris. Yeah, he's
David
he's
J.
pretty
Harris.
reputable. Although,
Yeah. Would it surprise you though if they had swung a little government money over to old Barry? Is anybody really shocked about that?
no.
No, I don't think you could
Absolutely
be.
not.
Well, especially since Barry was in charge when the money would have been swung.
Yeah.
It's not like they were like, "Hey, you know what? We really enjoyed our time together."
When you said
time
that they
of my life, and gave you $39 million.
When you said that he had trademarked was it trademark or copyright? with
Trademark the name
Obamacare.
Yeah,
Was that true?
That's apparently that's true.
Oh wow. Unconfirmed. Everybody unconfirmed. However, we think it's accurate.
That is.
I care about the
We'll wait
health.
for the-
I care about the health of the American people, but also let me go trademark this real quick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I need my dollar bills, man.
I mean, I'm not narcissistic.
No.
If they're
Because
gonna,
narcissism's a fault, and since I don't have any,
if they're gonna slap my name on it, I'm gonna make some money off
yeah,
of it.
that's
That's right. Yes.
that's
Obama,
the deal.
Obamacare.
If Biden made anything off of Bidenomics.
Nobody
Not for
made
the-
anything off of
yeah, yeah.
Bidenomics.
Nobody.
Probably not for the efficacy of it.
No, there's no need to swear about it. But I'm just saying, yeah, no, because he's probably too busy in the garage.
Yes. That Corvette.
Listen,
Let me hit some headlines before we
Come
get
on,
into
man.
it here, just so everybody knows what we may or may not get into tonight.
Just so
We'll try-
if you want to listen to us the whole time or not.
That's right. That's exactly right. So we got the Dan Crenshaw thing. We'll talk about that. We got $2 trillion in Medicare and Medicaid potentially fraud.
hey, guess what?
What's that?
I remember last week saying $20 says that they can find $2 trillion.
Yeah, they found it in one fell
They
swoop.
found it in one. Yeah, go ahead.
Tulsi Gabbard ordered the firing of 100 intelligence officers because there was this explicit NSA chat room.
Because they were too stupid.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
120 offices nationwide. IRS offices are shutting down. Gavin Newsome is making his debut in a podcast to talk to Republicans. Okay,
That'll be enlightening.
yeah, and I don't think it's going to have the effect that he wanted.
Yeah. I want to be in there. I so want to be in that room. I'm going to take a train to get there. An unfinished train.
And then we've got vending machines for this is in Maryland, and I think this has already happened in Maine. Because I think on my
I
podcast I was
believe it has.
yes. Another one saying that they want vending machines with condoms in kindergartens.
Yep.
Oh boy,
Not high school. That would be bad enough.
whole lot going on.
Listen, there isn't a single thing better to make a slippery balloon animal out of.
That's very true.
So I'm all for it, personally.
Oh gosh.
Let's start with Hot Mike, Dan Crenshaw.
Oh boy. Okay, so
So first of all, isn't this a threat of some? Isn't this a threat of violence?
I mean,
is this
basically,
is this okay for a politician
what'd
to
he
make
say?
a threat of violence?
if he saw him out, if I see him in public, I'll
I'll effing kill him.
Kill him.
Yeah, he said if I ever meet him.
yeah.
Well, here I can play the video.
Yeah, let's play the video.
Yeah. Let me pull that
Let's
one up.
see what the pirate has to say.
And this was GB. Oh, they deleted that one.
No.
Oh, hang on. Oh, they did. They
it's-
seriously deleted it. It was up and now it's gone. Let me find it because I know that it exists somewhere. I think Nick Sartor posted it. Dan Crenshaw. I'll just type Dan Crenshaw.
It is one of my favorite things when you find something you want to share with people. So my wife has told me this little tip, and it's true. Screen record
Oh,
it,
absolutely. Yep.
because it's not going to be there when you go back. It is not going to be there. They're going to pull it down. They're going to do everything they can.
Oh, heck yeah. There we go.
Here it is.
I don't know if it's bleeped or not. So
There might be language.
there could be language. Just
Had your
earmuffs.
kids, had your wife.
Yep.
Yeah,
Earmuffs.
yeah, yep.
Earmuffs.
You've been warned.
All you got to say is earmuffs.
Have you ever met Tucker?
See, right there. He just.
We've talked a lot. If I ever meet him, I'll probably kill him.
You couldn't hear it in that one.
He said, if I ever meet him, I'll probably kill him.
Well, he didn't say probably.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But and then he says, "I'm serious."
Yeah.
And I'm like,
Or you said I'm not joking.
or yeah, I'm not joking. I'm
not
like,
joking.
dude, this absolutely. When I first saw it on X, I thought it was going to. I honestly thought it was going to be fake. Because I really, it's amazing to me that people don't think about the mics being hot nowadays. How many people have gotten burned by hot mics in all professions? And to say something like that, dude, you better make sure the darn mic is off. I
Yeah.
mean,
Right? I mean,
crazy.
only an idiot doesn't do that.
yes.
Sorry. Did I just say that out loud?
I mean, and not only that, how many on the right love Tucker most?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's going to come out with a statement.
Oh, he has to.
He's going to come out with a statement,
He has
eating
to.
crow, and then he's going to be like, they're going to have like a Tucker love fest. It's going to be all Crenshaw. Crenshaw's going to sign his eye patch and send it to Tucker, and Tucker's going to make it into
I don't think so. I think this is a feud that's going to go and go and go. I think it goes far more. It goes beyond just professionally not agreeing with each other.
Yeah.
There is absolute vitriolic anger and hate between the two.
Yeah, Tucker's going to if they actually sit down for an interview,
yeah.
Tucker is going to just obliterate him.
I wonder if
Oh my goodness.
I wonder if something happened like Tucker slept with his sister. Something like that.
Oh, God.
You know what I'm saying? Like, let's get into the weeds a little bit.
Let's
Or
do it.
Crenshaw got caught, doing something with Tucker's, right?
I think it goes beyond. I think that it's okay. It is ego with Crenshaw, not with Tucker.
Oh, absolutely.
Crenshaw, remember when he came in, when he came on the scene?
Wait, wasn't he a Navy SEAL or
Yeah,
like,
he was a Navy SEAL.
There's an ego there? I can't believe that. That's ridiculous. Not that all Navy SEAls have egos,
No, they do, but most of them are quiet.
but most of them do. So,
But
yeah.
he had the commercials that were these highly produced
Yes.
commercials, and it was helicopters, and it was like shot like an action movie.
Yeah.
And this built up his ego. He was the new savior of the Republican Party.
Yeah, he's the
new
Chuck Norris
conservative.
of the Republican Party.
Oh yeah,
Just asking.
They just went absolutely bonkers with this guy, and he turned out to be a Lindsey Graham.
He's a
Bingo.
total hack.
Bingo.
He's a total hack.
Yeah, he is a unipartian that was masquerading as a conservative. The
Yeah.
American people realized it. Tucker realized it, and Tucker is. I don't agree with Tucker on everything.
No.
But he's not a warmonger.
No.
And Dan Crenshaw is. He bought into the military-industrial complex, and there you go. Now Tucker keeps just pounding him over it.
Oh yeah.
Well, he's not
And
doing
it's his
it.
ego.
But here's the thing: Tucker's just calling it like he sees it.
Yep.
Right? Speaking the truth, like that. Like
Tucker is not afraid. That's what I told my wife. I said, Tucker is one of the very few people that, and he's done a show about that. I heard him say, I'm not afraid of anything. Like, I'm not afraid to interview. I'm not afraid of anybody.
Right. I'm not afraid of Putin.
Nope. He doesn't care.
Like that says it all, right?
Yeah.
So he's just not. He is who he is.
Yep.
If I ever meet Tucker Carlson, I'll blanking kill him. I'm not joking.
And then Elon says, "Why is Crenshaw homicidal regarding Tucker?" And Tucker says, "Why don't you come sit for an interview and see how you do? I'll send you my address."
See, that's who he is.
Yeah.
He's dead serious.
And you know what? The responsibility there, crickets.
Yeah,
Because here's the thing: you call out ego,
Yep.
you're going to get crickets because
See,
they don't
that's-
like that.
Do you remember what he did to Mike Pence? What Tucker did to Mike Pence?
Yeah. I thought about that just a second ago. I was like, Tucker, the way he tore Mike Pence apart.
In front of everyone.
Oh, he ruined Mike Pence's. Not that it was done anyway, but if it wasn't done, he ruined everything else politically that Mike Pence. Which I think, I'm just going to come out and say this. I don't know if we've talked about this before. I think Mike Pence is 100% fake. That's just me.
Yeah.
I just do. I don't trust him in the least.
How
bit.
could you say that?
Well,
After all he's done for
I think it's an act, but you know.
Well,
what has Mike Pence done for us? Oh, that's right.
he did. Well,
Yeah.
yeah. Let me think about
I mean, if I was in Indiana, maybe he's been like, "Yeah, my road's pretty good."
Yes.
Yeah, thanks, Mike.
Yes.
But
the Democrats say the Democrats love him. They say
Right.
he saved democracy.
well, yeah, of course he did. Those
yeah.
January Sixers.
Yeah.
Doggone it. They need burn in hell, January Sixers. Nobody heard that, right?
No, your mic was no.
My mic was
you
off.
covered it pretty good.
Hot mic. So yeah, we got Tucker and Crenshaw. That is our next T-shirt idea. Tucker
you
v.
what, man.
Crenshaw.
You know, I was trying to do it for the thumbnail tonight. I was trying to get Grok to draw a boxing match
Oh,
between the
buddy.
two of them.
Yeah,
That'd be nice.
It didn't do a good
it
job.
wouldn't.
No.
AI.
Yeah.
It's that AI stuff.
Worthless.
You say Tucker, you've got like trucks. You've got all kind. You know.
Oh yeah.
I have no idea.
Well,
what
it
you're
got
talking about.
Tucker, but it was just I don't know.
Crenshaw
Grok
had two eyes. That's the problem.
it did that several times, and I'm like,
Really?
I kept saying, "Stop!" He has an eye patch, and it would do it again, and it would have the eye patch, and it would generate another image, and he would. I'm like, the guy doesn't have two eyes. Stop it! You know this.
Yeah, he's a one-eyed.
You are artificial intelligence with access to all of the internet. Find me a picture of Dan Crenshaw without an eye patch. You can't. So stop doing this.
You know, what'd be crazy fun is if everybody at Tucker's show and everything, his whole production, if they all started wearing an eye patch. I would totally do that on the neck. Like tomorrow, I'd be coming into work with an eye patch just to mess with him. Everybody's got eye patches. In fact, you know what'd be great is if Congress, everybody did an eye patch in honor of this moment.
Tucker wore it. If they did an interview and he wore it.
He should totally wear it. Tucker, you got to wear an eye
Dang
patch.
it, man.
That
I'm
would be
reading
so
some of the
great.
old comments that Dan Crenshaw had about Tucker, and this is going back to these were in 2024. So he said, "This is who Tucker is: a click chaser. Tucker is Tucker's MO is simple: defend America's enemies and attack America's allies. There isn't an objective bone left in that washed-up news host's body. Mindless contrarianism is his guiding principle, buttressed by his childish tactic of just ask questions." But any educated adult, especially one with such a long career in journalism, should occasionally try answering some of those questions objectively. He goes after it. Then he says, but he never does. Instead, he uses his platform to sow doubt and paranoia and false narratives. Hot mic.
Hot mic. What's the score?
Oh no, I was seeing if we had any. Of course, I know you could see the comments. But I always like to see.
So
but then I'm going to say this one last one. He says Tucker will eventually fade into nothingness because his veneer of faux intellectualism is quickly falling apart and revealing who he truly is: a cowardly, know-nothing elitist who is full of expletive.
well, Dan,
And
sounds to me like you want to sneak into his bedroom and snap his neck in his sleep.
I wish.
You Navy SEAL, you.
I wish that he would just tell us how he really feels about
Me
it.
too. I'm left wondering. Yeah. Oh, geez, these politicians these days.
But yeah, I do agree. He is bottom line. He can't let this go. He can't just act like it never happened. Now he has to say something.
He's going to have to, or he loses.
Oh,
I mean,
he's done.
He's done.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially as a rhino.
Yep.
You can't even be a rhino. which you are. You've got to at this point. You just clearly have to step over, and you're gonna have to hold Adam Schiff's hand.
Yes.
And you guys are gonna have to do it. You're gonna be doing life together.
Here's the question. Speaking of Adam Schiff,
Oh.
this wasn't on the agenda for tonight.
There's gonna be a lot that wasn't on the agenda.
Yeah.
So go ahead.
Do you think Kash Patel is going to go
Yes.
like full board?
Before you even yes.
I think Adam Schiff is you could see it in the questioning. He is absolutely terrified.
Yeah.
He always looks terrified, but I think he actually is. And the fact that Patel said that he is the worst criminal
Yeah.
in 300 years, like that's
Adam Schiff is an evil dude.
isn't that what he
Yeah,
said?
he is.
300 something like that. 300 years. That's a big deal. Like he's.
So Eric Swalwell, you know him, right?
Oh yeah. Oh,
So-
Fang Fang.
I don't know if you heard about this. Nick Sartor.
Yes. Oh yeah.
Did you hear about his interview with him?
I did not see that. No.
He's somehow, I guess because he had done something with his appearance, sat beside an intoxicated Eric Swalwell for 90 minutes. And this guy spilled all the beans and he recorded it. And so he is saying that he's going to release it. He talking about actively going after Ivanka Trump.
Wow.
Because of, talking about cheating on his wife, talking about basically leveraging his power in Congress to manipulate politics. I mean, it is everything, top to bottom. And he hasn't released the recordings yet, to my understanding. I think once it does, it's going to be all over the internet. But stuff like this is starting to leak out. You've got Adam Schiff terrified, and Nick Sartor got a video approaching him, and you could see Eric Swalwell's face was, when he saw him, saying, "Oh, hey, you remember we were having drinks last night?" And his face just went white, like terrified, because he knows that he spilled all the beans. Not just about him, but other people in the Democrat Party, apparently.
Well, apparently there's a lot of beans that need spilled. Here's a fun fact. Wouldn't want to be fire chief in Los Angeles.
Man, how wild is that right there?
Oh,
Holy moly. How wild is that?
Wild? Wild, Ben? I
Yeah.
don't know of wild. I think almost like maybe she knew something.
Well, she probably did.
Maybe there was something under the covers there that needed to be revealed that they wanted to make sure didn't get revealed, and so
You can't let anything get out.
can't let it get out. So the California fire captain murdered.
oh, good gracious. I'm trying to get this thing to zoom in here.
Her wife, who, isn't it funny? They say you look like your pets. And I want to just throw this out there.
Okay.
Okay. I've met in my lifetime 7 or 8 lesbian couples.
Mhm.
They look alike. Like not older, not
Yeah.
not for fun. Like these are like not fad lesbian couples like we're dealing with in the younger generations. We're talking legit. I'm 58 and she's 62 and we look the same. They look the same.
It's interesting when I first saw this.
I mean,
I thought that
you give her a butch haircut on the right, you've got the same girl.
Well, I thought the woman on the right was the woman on the left at a different time in her life.
Yes.
That's what I didn't, until I read the description, I didn't know it was the.
Yes, if you're listening tonight and want to make a comment on that, have you ever met?
I would be interested in the comments on that one.
Yes.
I have never thought about
Mike.
that.
But it's true.
but-
I mean, even couples, like
Yes.
even old married couples, they kind of, something happens where you morph into the other. I mean, the Bible says the two become one flesh. And I'm like, oh, dear Jesus. I hope so, because my wife is beautiful. And I can only hope that I'll look a little more like her as I age. But correct me if I'm wrong, but I've never met two that don't have some
It's very similar.
uncanny similarities. You're like, huh, interesting.
I can honestly say I've never been around that many, so I really don't know. I'm trying to think of. Hey, you got me thinking.
Yeah, well, it's good, and hopefully, if you're listening at home, you're thinking too. Like, of all the things for us to make you think about.
Yes.
I'm genuinely perplexed here.
So, but they look alike. They do. Not only do they look alike, but they live together. So, and then now I believe they're both dead. So, because for some reason she murders her fire chief captain spouse and then disappears. Did she disappear though? Or is this just another way? They're going to find her in the bottom of
that's a synonym now for
Clinton.
yes.
So is this
Clinton.
the same one that was failing at the
Yes, this is
wildfires?
Yes.
Oh, come on.
Yeah. So she failed.
Conspiracy theory much? This is getting
She failed at wildfires and at life. And
like Kennedy, like John Kennedy says, Senator John Kennedy, he says we're like 37-0 on conspiracy theories.
yeah, and this is one that's really easy to call. I saw this and said, you know what? This didn't happen.
No, see, that's the thing. When I saw it come out, I was like,
She
come
knew.
on, we're so close to this.
Yep.
Like being over this.
Yeah, she knew. She knew something.
Yes.
And now she's gone. And this is just how it works. And yeah. I'm sniffing them out, Jared. This is what I do.
I mean,
I'm like they call me Bloodhound. They do.
That's your nickname.
My nickname's Bloodhound. So yeah, this is one of those things. When I saw it, I said, you know what? We've got to bring this up on the show because as a listener, do you think that this actually happened or is this a Clinton? Which we're just going to start calling everything that is Epstein-esque,
Yeah.
you know, like the murder, this totally reeks of conspiracy.
Oh, absolutely.
Can't call it a conspiracy if it's true.
That's right.
So, yeah.
Wow.
Boom.
Hey, real quick before I forget this, do you think I am a little? It's a little odd to me that Pam Bondi hasn't released the Epstein list yet.
Yes.
Yes.
What are they waiting on? Dang it!
I've thought about
What are
this
they
a
waiting
lot.
on?
You know, here's the thing. I think the list might need to be sifted and sorted because you've definitely got the people that have been on the Lolita Express. You know them.
Oh yeah.
You've got the people that have been to the island. You know them.
Mm-hmm.
But the list is also a bunch of other people, associates, people that have whatever. So here you've got this list of all these people who have been and done with the list of, you got to separate the ones that haven't been or done. And then you've got to figure out which ones that have been have actually done,
Right.
which is all going to be hearsay.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, you'll never know. So we're going to get the list. It's going to be Clinton, and it's going to be Chelsea Clinton, and it's going to be Hillary Clinton, and it's going to be Billy Clinton, and it's going to be. I'm after the Clintons tonight. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean,
So, but it's going to be all these people, and then they're going to say, "I didn't do anything. I just went there because the weather's nice and my sinuses need cleared."
yeah.
You know. And how do you? I mean, other than it is a complete publicity nightmare for all of these people. The same with the P. Diddy things, except you've got the kids that are they're not kids anymore. You've got the people saying, "Yeah, that actually happened."
Well, what I've seen as an explanation is that Pam behind the scenes is getting ready to arrest these folks as soon as the list drops.
So they can't go anywhere.
So they can't go anywhere. Now, who knows? But it's like if you got Lauren Boebert, like not talking crap about somebody that Trump appointed, but like pushing, like, okay, hey, where is this? You said 2-3 days ago that it was on your desk. Where is it?
Yeah.
So
you're saying she's going to drop the list and make the arrests
That's the
almost
only-
at the same time.
that's the only.
I'll see you guys later. I got it.
Or
Is this on?
That was timed really well.
Yeah, time. Well, time to wrap it up, guys.
All right, I know that also wasn't on the list for tonight, but that just popped in my mind.
It's a lot of people are speculating, and this is funny. So people on the left are saying
Trump's
why-
on there.
Well, they're saying, who are they protecting? They have the Epstein, and then of course the natural response is Joe Biden and the DOJ has had this for years. Why didn't they release it? So I think that holds a little more water than somebody, because there may be people on the right. I'm sure there were.
Oh, I'm sure there were.
Oh, absolutely.
Mitch McConnell.
And if Trump,
Yeah.
and if Trump,
Or Lindsey Graham.
if Trump was on there,
Dan Crenshaw.
you know that Biden and them would have released that already.
Oh yeah.
I mean, so
Yeah, that would have been leaked out. He
Well,
wasn't on there.
we know he threw him out of Mar-a-Lago. We know that he didn't like him.
Yep.
You know, probably because two narcissists.
he liked him until he found out about all this stuff. I think.
Yeah.
He was like, absolutely
Because
not.
to a lot of people, he was just another guy and,
Yeah.
Yeah.
another billionaire. And they didn't necessarily know how he became a billionaire, but he was influential. He had the parties,
Yeah.
all that sort of stuff. But then, once he found out about it, and Mar-a-Lago, like you were saying, booted him out because he was treating people inappropriately. And
Right. Right. Oh boy.
Hello, Tulsi.
Tulsi Gabbard.
I like this lady.
Yep.
I didn't at first. I'm not gonna lie. Wasn't a huge Tulsi fan at first, but she's all right. She's all right. So she's ordered the firing of over 100 intelligence officers involved in explicit NSA chat rooms. This is wild. So in the wake of NSA and CIA employees being revealed to have had sexually explicit conversations in government chat rooms while on the clock, Director of National Security Director of National Intelligence, Tulsi Gabbard said that over 100 intelligence officers would be fired. There are over 100 people from across the intelligence community that contributed and participated in what is really just an egregious violation of trust, she told Jesse Waters. I put out a directive today that they will be terminated and their security clearances will be revoked. She continued, we've got to take a step back because this is just barely scratching the surface. When you see what these people were saying, and thanks to Chris Rufo for putting it all out online, they were brazen in using NSA platform intended for professional use to conduct this kind of really horrific behavior. I mean, this is, okay, so Rufo wrote that he and Grossman, who it was Hannah Grossman. Let me start over here. A report in the City Journal by Rufo and Hannah Grossman revealed that there were 2 channels from the NSA's Intellink messaging program which featured discussions related to polyamory, kink, sex change surgeries, and other explicit topics. Rufo wrote that he and Grossman have obtained logs from the NSA's secret transgender sex chat room in which NSA, CIA, and DIA employees discussed castration, artificial, I won't go into all the details, artificial appendages and things, fetishes, like all this kinds of stuff. It was...
We're gay. We're a Christian.
Did I go too far?
So let me ask you this. If I'm at work, okay, first of all, so from what I understand about this, most of it is this isn't like, Bubba the fullback who went into the NSA and now he's hitting on, Tina, the prom queen in the NSA. This is mostly geared toward a, how do we want to put it so we can stay on YouTube? Trans or gay, more in that, like that kind of a chat room.
Not necessarily. It encompassed that, but it encompassed everything.
It encompasses everything.
Everything. Okay. So in any kind of debaucherous, even beyond what the average person would have.
But I mean, I'm going to say, like, okay, were there heterosexuals in the trans chat room talking about the appendages?
Oh,
Apparently.
probably. Yeah.
Okay.
I mean,
well, then they need to go.
I mean, at the end of the day, it's using government.
Yes, it's using government stuff.
like, what are you working on?
And so here's my point. Like sexual dysfunction, this kind of sexual dysfunction, when it becomes who you are, and I'm using quotation marks, right? Like I'm a blah, blah, blah. You can't leave it at home. You got to bring it to work because it's who I am.
It's your truth.
And that's kind of the point. Like I can tell you locker room talk or whatever happens, right? We get it.
Oh, yeah.
But I don't talk about my wife
No.
that way. I leave that at home, right? You don't talk about your wife that way. You leave it at home. Something happens in the male psyche where you leave it at home or you realize this isn't an appropriate place to do this. This isn't right. Work is one of them where you go, yeah, I'm probably not going to sit here and talk like this. So,
but
these are supposed to be professionals. Aren't these people all like, don't you have to have a degree of some sort to work at the NSA, I would think?
Oh, yeah.
I would have to think so.
But it's always, I think when things like this are happening at the workplace, it speaks to the environment that's been created in that workplace.
It's the culture that's been allowed.
That is a toxic culture where that's acceptable. And when you have when you interweave leftist politics, these are things that they're trying to normalize.
Well, that's
a lot of this stuff is normalizing the debaucherous, minor attracted persons. They like to use that term. It's normalizing something devious and something evil. And
I'm so glad he's saying that. Because I was thinking tonight, like, just for fun, right? Because we're a Christian show and because we believe in Christ, let's go ahead and bring in hey, in the last days, they're going to call evil good and good evil.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
And we have watched like this has become so brazen that even the pendulum shifting so far back, we've had to have a president say, like, in what world do you have to have a president or a politician come out and say and make a proclamation that there are two genders?
Yes, I know. That was.
But he had to do it as a course correction because we have gotten so lost that evil is now good and good is now evil. All the way down to you listen to anything on MSNBC. I mean, you know, these people are, most of these people are getting fired at this point, but still there's the echo chamber that everything that Trump is doing to normalize America is evil. I mean, you've got almost half of America believing that this is evil, what he's doing. All these poor NSA people and these poor IRS people that are losing their jobs because they don't respond to an email. And like, sorry.
I got lambasted, by the way, this past weekend. I was in a let's just say I was in a situation where I was talking to some people who were subject to the email that went out from Doge.
Okay.
And I'll just leave it at that. And it was thinking of every reason why and talking to like, how can I not respond to this?
Why would you?
That was some of the people's opinion. Another person said, I've already got my email written. Like, what am I worried about? I know exactly what I did over the past 5 days, and I'm more than happy to talk about it. So it tells me that, you know, this is fake victimhood, and it's people who are in a system that has been not void of accountability, but accountability in federal jobs it's there. But like I've talked about on the show before, the guy I know who, when I was in active duty Army, he stole thousands of dollars worth of computers from a government facility, and it took him like a year to fire the guy. He was collecting a paycheck the whole time, sitting at home. Our tax dollars paid him whatever, $100,000 a year to sit on his duff at the house. That's not that. I don't consider that accountability, right?
No, I don't either.
No.
And a lot of times it's them saying, well, I know they're doing something wrong, but it's just too much work to fire the person, so we'll just move them to another place, or we'll, you know, you just
We're going to transfer the problem.
Yeah, transfer the problem.
Yes.
So if I just don't get the problem, like, give me 5 things you did over the past week. And
So let me ask you,
woe is me.
let me ask you this, and our listeners too. Is it egregious for them to say, give me 5 things you did this week? Is that too much? I mean, I can tell you that, like,
It's one thing a day.
right.
Seriously.
For me as an employer, when I used to manage people, I would want that like daily. I would want to know what you're doing minute by minute because I'm paying you every hour.
Yeah.
So I want to know what you're up to, and I want to know what you're getting accomplished, and I want to know how I can help you, and I want to know how you can do it better or faster, right? We can make this more efficient, clearly, Tim.
And if you don't have anything to hide,
What are you worried about?
what are you worried about?
Yeah.
You're getting paid. Your boss, you know, you get instructed to do this. Just do it. I mean,
Because here's where it comes. Here's the rub. Dan
What is
Crenshaw.
rattling?
yeah. What is rattling?
Here's the rub, Dan Crenshaw.
Shake your table.
Oh, it's this.
Oh,
The mic.
hold the mic and then twist the bottom. It could just be loose.
So here's the rub in this while Ben's fixing his stuff. I believe it's ego driven. I believe for a lot of these people, it's ego driven.
That's good.
Where it's, you're not going to tell me what to do.
That's it. Yeah. They don't want to be told what to do. That's
Right.
exactly.
You're not going to tell me what to do. And because it's coming from Trump,
It's the entitled mindset that people have now.
yes, and guess what? Nobody owes you anything.
No.
And
No.
Government jobs are not a right. They are a privilege, and they are
Yes.
paid for by the taxpayers, and we are owed accountability for your performance. And I'm not saying that I personally want to hold you accountable, but I would like to know if there are people that are slacking and taking my labor, which is what it is.
yeah,
It's not just money; it's my labor, my time.
it's your time and your labor. They're taking it to the
I mean,
bank.
if you are doing the job that you're supposed to be doing, 5 things a week, you could take Monday and write 5 things down and send it. You wouldn't have to worry about the rest of the week.
And here's a little tip. Government employees, listen to this technique because this will make your head spin. Write it all down on Monday. Then you're done for the week. You don't have to do,
exactly
you know what I mean? Like,
That's it.
And you know what? Go ahead, keep a log just every Monday. Just every Monday, just pick one day a week to work that you're not doing now. And so it's Monday. I'm gonna write 5 things down that I did on this Monday. Send it in. Only work Monday, which is more than I'm working normally.
That's it.
But we're okay because I'm getting paid for 40 hours a week. I'm getting 6 figures to do nothing, and that's the problem with all of it.
Yep. And it's so wild to me that they are actively saving all these people, the country money, yet the people on the left can't give them credit and won't give them credit. And it's like, you all have complained about this, like everybody else. You've all complained about the deficit and spending for so long. And now that something's being done about it, you are so hurt that you all weren't the ones to do it.
Well, I think they're the ones that they're not doing anything.
Right.
That's the point.
So their party's not doing a darn thing about it.
A lot of people that are, their voter base are going to be fired.
Yeah.
Right? Because they're not doing anything. And here's the other half that blows my mind. They gave them a second chance.
Oh, yeah.
What?
Yep.
No more second chances, please. If these people can't respond to your email, then they're gone. They don't deserve to be employed by me. I'm firing them. It's that simple.
Jeremy Sears.
I'm firing them. You're fired.
Yeah.
Okay, the 3 of us fired. What is that in taxes? That surely is one person's,
Yeah.
You're fired. Because we the people are speaking, and if they're not listening to that, I mean, this is like we're talking the big game. Respond or you're fired. Well, we're going to give you a second chance. The same people that didn't respond the first time probably aren't going to respond the second time either, because it's not like it's a secret. It's all over the media. It's everywhere. You know that you've got a week to respond. If you're not responding, you're not gonna.
Yep.
So you deserve what you get. It's that simple. Speaking of the IRS.
Oh, yeah.
Go for it.
Glorious. So 120 offices are going to be shut down nationwide.
Oh, that's terrible.
Yeah.
It is.
And they've stopped the, I don't think it was in here, but I think they stopped the 84 or 85,000 they were hiring. That's already been halted. But the Trump administration is moving forward with plans to shut down more than 120 IRS offices that provide taxpayer assistance as part of a broader effort to reduce the federal government's footprint and cut costs. The decision, outlined in a letter from the U.S. General Services Administration, GSA, obtained by the Washington Post, comes at a crucial time right in the middle of federal tax filing season, which ends April 15th.
Can I just make a suggestion to the PM? They misspoke here. They said that they offer taxpayer assistance. No, they don't. Have you ever had assistance from the IRS in your taxes?
I've never been happy when I received something in the mail from them.
Right.
So
I don't believe in.
Well, now it says that these are tax assistance centers, is what they say.
Okay, so what does that mean? Oh, you go pay your taxes there.
Well, yeah. I mean,
but they're not there to help you. They're there to get you.
Yeah, they're there to get you. That's really what it is.
So yeah.
So this move follows the recent layoffs of approximately 7,000 probationary IRS employees and aligns with the administration's push to decrease the agency's headcount. The closure will impact at least 128 taxpayer assistance centers across the country where filers can receive free in-person tax help by appointment. It remains unclear whether these centers will be relocated or permanently closed. So you know what? That's like, I'm trying to think of a good analogy, but going to talk to the IRS about paying your taxes.
Well, it's kind of like if you're a chicken or a cow going to the slaughterhouse for advice on how to gain weight, right? That's what you're doing. You're like, I need to beef up a little bit before slaughter. Let me go out. Let me go talk to you.
Yeah.
About it. Like,
that's the sheep getting advice from the wolf.
Yes.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, that's exactly right. Yeah, shut them down.
Yeah.
Where are we, by the way, on our Doge count? Have we
savings?
Yeah, and also with the IRS, I know that they were auditing that. We've got the Fort Knox deal. We've got, which
we're at 141 billion.
Well, that jumped up from yesterday.
141 billion.
Something.
Oh, oops! Nobody can see that one. Let me pull that up. There we go.
141 billion that they're at.
I can't wait for this one, the U.S. national debt, to start going down.
I was gonna say, you look at the 141 billion, you're like, man, that is a monstrous number. But then you look at the debt, and you're like, that is a small number compared to the debt.
It's really not.
And what's crazy is the Doge clock is actually moving faster, but not fast enough.
No. We're still, oh boy.
I mean, that, he had his first cabinet meeting for his second term today. And that was pretty interesting to watch. Howard Lutnick, who's over something with finance. I don't know what he is, but Lutnick. Sorry. He made a comment today, and I was like, "Oh man, that's a bold you just don't really even touch that." He's like, we're gonna work on this, and then we're gonna pay off the debt. And I was like, "Whoa, let's pump the brakes a little bit on this one. You're gonna pay off $36 trillion. Yeah, I don't know about that, buddy."
He's the Commerce Secretary.
Okay,
yeah.
I'm like, let's not put that on the table.
How
yet.
could they do that?
So here's how.
$2 trillion.
Here's how they suspect they could do it. Have you heard about the gold green cards?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so those would be $5 million a piece.
Mm-hmm.
And they said, and Trump laid it out. He said, "Now we may not sell this many." He said, "But just looking ahead, if you sell 10, if you sell 100, and he just kept increasing the number."
Mm-hmm.
And eventually he said, and he got to 50 trillion. He said, "Think if we got $50 trillion, we'd have 15 left over ish to put back in." So he was saying these astronomical numbers. Do I actually think we're going to pay off the debt? No, absolutely not. I think that is an insurmountable number that we will never get rid of.
But we've got to try, Ben.
As much as I know, but gosh, man,
I mean,
I don't know how you do it. I mean,
I think our best hope and best case scenario is to just stop it.
So we're at 20, GDP is what, 24, 25 trillion? What is our GDP right now? I would have to look at it. It's 24 trillion. We're at 120% debt to GDP right now.
okay.
So massive spending cuts. You get rid of the $2 trillion that we found in. Did we post that one already? The $2 trillion in Medicare and Medicaid fraud. I don't think I've played that video yet.
We haven't played the video, but yeah, we've talked about it for a sec.
So there's a lot of money out there that can be cut. Restrictions on the welfare system. Not, if people are capable of working, capable of adults, go back to work. You get people off the welfare.
Kind of like they did in where? Arkansas?
Yeah.
That's so solid.
There you go. Sarah Huckabee Sanders. She knows how to do
So
it.
solid. Yeah, solid.
It's just massive reform across all levels. And then it's many, many, many years of that, and we can pay it down. It's not going to happen. A lot of the folks that think we can do this in one fell swoop, it's not.
That won't happen in one term.
But I think
it's not going to happen.
This is the problem with it, right? Is that it's not going to happen in one term, and yet we really might only have one term to try to make it happen. Because he's done.
Mm-hmm.
And if we don't have a repeat of him and this kind of system, then we're going right back to the swamp.
Eric Trump or Don Jr.
Yeah.
That's the future. That's to make it happen.
Or J.D. Vance, have Trump as the VP and him run the show behind the scenes.
Oh, kind of like we just had.
Yeah,
we just had. There
Kind of
you
like
go.
we just had. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't want to say that, but it would be kind of nice.
Mike was still pulling strings back there.
Because he could technically, he could serve 8 years as VP, correct?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm really kind of joking about this, but
he'd be old.
I mean, he'd be pushing 100.
Oh gosh,
soon,
he'll be like Charlie Munger and those Ed.
Oh, but who are we kidding? He's just going to stay in office.
Warren Buffett, he'll be going.
He's,
90s,
third, fourth term.
Yeah, fifth term. That's what they're worried about. He's going to just stay in office.
I love when he trolls the left.
It is so ridiculous.
Maybe we'll go a third term. Wait till they hear about that. I love it. Oh, it's so great.
Well, he talked about being a king.
Yes. They
don't get the humor. They don't get
don't
any of it.
get it.
Yeah, they don't get it. They don't get it.
You're playing right into it.
Yeah.
Oh gosh, he's got a sense of humor. He doesn't show it all the
I know.
time.
He does.
Rare moments he's smiling.
Quick.
But
He's got a pretty quick wit too.
Yes.
Yeah.
Speaking of quick wit,
Oh.
I think this is our way out.
this,
I vote for him in 4 years.
let me tell you,
If anybody can get us out of this mess, it's Donald Trump straight into a Gavin Newsom presidency.
If he fixed L.A., he can do this. Oh my
Look at all the wonderful things he did in California.
I feel like I wouldn't, as a Republican, right? I wouldn't actually give him the time of day.
No.
Yeah, no.
I don't care who you are. It'd be like if Trudeau was like, hey, I want to come on your podcast. I'd be like, no.
Yes.
I mean, it'd be great for ratings,
it'd be good for ratings, but it's like,
but no thanks. I don't want to speak to you. I wouldn't cross the street to speak to you. Now, I will pray for you that God has mercy on you and that, you come to the saving knowledge of Jesus because we're supposed to, not because I like you.
right.
And so this is another one. Gavin Newsom, everything about him. My favorite moment, and this is going to make you do a deep dive real fast, was when the woman confronted him during the fires about,
yes. Yes.
because that just says everything about who he is.
Yep. And she probably voted for him.
Probably voted for him. But then she's got to call him to the carpet because he is a miserable failure.
Yep.
California is a miserable failure.
Yes.
The whole state is just a miserable failure when it comes to politics. Beautiful people, beautiful state. Why?
Trump won all but 4 counties, and it's the ones that are most populated, of course. So
Yeah, if that doesn't say everything. Right?
So
Californians are great people. Get out.
Yeah, leave.
Come to where the air is clean. There it is. That's it. Boom. Oh, this is great.
Taking your call.
Because it's not going through. So
Why?
I have to get cell service.
So let's get it. Let's get it. I want to be here when you call the president.
oh man.
The question is, has the governor lived up to his word? But joining me now is Rachel herself. Rachel, great to have you on.
This is a Piers Morgan. I've just pulled a random clip.
Oh, that's fine.
Pierce Morgan, though, yeah.
I mean, basically, Newsom said that he was on the phone. Correct me if I'm wrong. Or trying to with Biden,
Yeah.
talking about this,
And he was.
and his screen was there was nothing,
Yeah.
and so he wouldn't attempt while she was
Yeah.
there. Even it's a bad look, terrible look.
Well, it's no different than the Kamala Harris
Oh, the speakerphone thing. God,
taking a phone call while her phone is on photo.
Come on.
Now that one I can find.
Yeah. Hot mic. Hot mic. I mean, you can't the stupidity is so overwhelming. Now, I'm not going to lie. I have faked a phone call.
Yeah, oh, absolutely.
I mean, who hasn't, right? We all fake phone
I've
calls.
seen people out, and I'm like, I know they're going to try to talk to me. I can't right now.
Right. It's not that I don't want to talk to you. It's that,
I will straight up talk to my phone.
I will point at the phone. I'll be like, I'll give him the finger, like not the middle finger, of course, for those of you on Spotify, like the pointy finger, like 1 second. Just give me 1 second. I'm on the phone. I'm just on the phone with somebody. Give me a
The
second.
milk wasn't where it usually is. I don't know where they put it.
One time it rang. Well,
Oh, no.
yeah. So that is always a risk. That is always a big risk where you're like, I'm on the phone and then it rings and it's like, see, I told you. I told you. And, hello, I told you. I'm prophetic. I knew it was going to happen.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Should I play this as a nostalgic?
Yeah, this is a great moment.
Absolutely.
Election day in America. Here it is. Speaking.
Wasn't planned, just a little throwback because it's fun.
Have you voted already?
Give me a second.
You did, thank you.
Oh yeah.
Selfie.
Golly,
You
dude.
just can't even make this stuff up. I mean, the
that
fact
was
that she
great.
asked the question
What a
and then
great
waited
throwback.
for the answer.
Yes.
Oh yeah. Hey everybody. I voted.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
She was trying to figure out if the person voted for her or Trump. That's what she was doing. Wait.
And have you noticed,
Funny.
we haven't heard a peep out of either of them.
No.
I mean, they got signed on by the same talent agency, whatever the crap that means.
Well, it means they're going to be on the next episode of Disney's Bunked.
Oh, there we go.
Who got signed on by the talent agency?
Biden
and Kamala.
Kamala got
they
signed
signed
by
on the same one.
Probably for books. I would imagine books.
I wonder if it's the same one that.
Same one Obama was on.
Well, I was going to say AOC. You know that she was picked by a talent agency.
Was she?
Oh yeah. There's a whole video actually of the crew that picked her, and they said we're holding auditions for a congressperson. You don't remember this?
No.
And they chose her
Yeah.
of all the Congress people.
I've never seen that.
Oh gosh, I could probably find this on X.
Well, this is a whole new thing, right? You go to Congress so that you can be on.
Jasmine Crockett's probably on there too.
I mean,
gosh almighty, dude. She knows absolutely nothing about this.
Let's see.
She's on there completely for comedic effect.
Was Ilhan Omar on there for like? You'll see her on Somalia's Got Talent.
So this one was.
I can juggle fish.
This was posted by David H. Harris Jr. Let me see if I can.
What should I do with this kale?
I missed that part. I was looking for the video. Here you go. Listen to this.
For nominations. We got over 10,000 nominations. Out of those 10,000 nominations, we found Alexandria.
You have got to be kidding me! Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez answered a casting call? And now she's in Congress?
My brother told me that he had sent my nomination in the summer, but I was like literally working out of a restaurant, and I was like, there's no way.
A casting call. They had a casting call. They cast Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez in the role of Congresswoman.
You gotta be kidding me!
That wasn't the whole thing.
I've never seen that.
I had not seen that
there's
either.
A whole video where they do the behind the scenes. They talk about the casting call. They talk about, focus grouping people and that sort of stuff. And yeah, that's how they picked AOC to run for Congress.
So she is pretending to be she is pretending to be a congresswoman.
I thought that was common knowledge.
Dude,
Wow.
I've never heard of that.
So imagine, wait a minute. Is this like the Truman Show for her? Where it's really not Congress? This is all just an act? I can say whatever I want. It's improv. Congress is one big improv act for her.
Well, she does act like it is an act.
Yes.
All the time.
Yeah.
So.
I mean, it's not a problem that I'm going to go ahead and tell illegals how to hide from ICE and everybody else, because this is all just a big... I mean, I was cast for this role.
Yeah.
Does she know that this is real? Does she realize that she's actually doing it, or is this the Truman Show for her?
How interesting is that?
That's a good question. I think we need to...
We'll have her on next week. It's fine.
Yeah, there you go. I would say, how scary is that?
Yeah, exactly.
Not that just the fact that she did that she was part of a casting call, but that people are okay talking about this. Yeah, well, of course, it's a casting call. It was we focus grouped it. And
this is what we came up with, was a dysfunctional bartender.
This is who your representative should be. We chose it.
Well,
because remember her dance video?
Yeah, she is the DEI cat. She's
pretty. She's whatever. She's a socialist. It checks the boxes.
All the boxes.
There aren't many of those.
All the awful boxes.
I will be honest.
Okay, so here, this is massive news. It says right on the top, massive news. So it's got to be good. Let's see what is it.
For a second. Earlier, the subcommittee headed by Chairman Marcia Taylor Greene, her and her staff discovered $2.7 trillion in improper payments to Medicare, Medicaid, overseas, to people who should not have gotten it. Some of this room might have missed that press conference. Can you elaborate on what the president is thinking at this point?
Well, again, that's another example. There's a very long list of the fraud, waste, and abuse that DOJ is identifying on a daily basis. Elon Musk also talked about yesterday about Social Security payments that are going out the door for people who are no longer with us. Unfortunately, I would say that is certainly fraud. There's also a lot of contracts they've identified that, just as a hypothetical example, are $1 million, but only 500,000 went out the door. So where's the rest of that cash? And so that's the thing. Those are the things that Doge is working on every single day. And I would just remind everybody in this room, this is what President Trump campaigned on doing. He's delivering on a promise that 77 million people elected him to do.
Yes, boom.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know why people are so shocked that. I mean, I know we're not used to I know we're not used to the past, 4 or 5 years, a president, standing up to his word. But I don't know why everybody's just so shocked that he's actually doing this. Did you not learn from the first time? And this is like Trump 2.0. I mean, this is completely different than his first term.
Think about how much trouble he had the first time around.
Yeah.
And
Right, he couldn't get anything done.
Well, and they thought that, we'll have the same thing the second time around. And it's not, because he came in guns a-blazing, prepared. He had all these EOs. They were already drafted. They were drafted a year ago.
Oh, yeah, you don't move this fast without having some prep time.
They were drafted. They were vetted by lawyers. They were taken through the ringer. How can we write these things to make them stick? And have them in a pile in a nice shiny binders.
Yep.
By 6 months before the election, put them in a safe. And
on election day, you can sit down.
Yes.
That's right.
In front of everybody.
And the cabinet that he picked, the people, it's just like,
oh, it's perfect.
Yeah.
It is
Did you guys see that the Resolute desk was bugged?
I heard that, but I
Okay,
didn't.
so
I didn't know
here's-
if that was verified.
Yes, go. I want to. Yeah.
Okay. So here's what I saw. There was this was on Fox. I'm not saying everything they produce is true. I'm just saying this is where I saw it. Was when Elon came in to talk when Trump was at the Resolute desk and Elon came in with his son. His son picked his nose and wiped it on the Resolute desk. And supposedly, it coincided interestingly because then the Resolute desk a few days later was gone, it was out of there, and they thought that was why, but then they said no, it was actually getting redone or something. I don't know. It was odd. So what have you? Okay, so y'all have heard something completely different then.
I heard that it was bugged. Now, who knows how long it's been bugged? Who knows how? I mean, it could have been.
That was Kennedy's.
Yeah, it could have been. Well, that was even way. It was before that, right?
Yeah.
But it had a bug or bugs, and not bed bugs.
No.
But I mean, Elon's kid wiping his booger on there is like what There it is. Trump's had kids. He knows. Yeah. Every kid does this.
What you doing, kid?
Yeah. The other great video is Elon walking off the stage, and the kid is back behind him, and they cut it so it looks like Elon just left his son there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, look at this animal. He's just leaving his son behind. I can't tell you how many times I'm like, where is my son? I'm turning around going like, can you get up here?
Yeah.
They're just in their own world.
Well,
Clearly, this kid's got his own thing going on.
It's hilarious when he goes up. He'll realize, but he
this
has
picture,
no idea.
Do you not find this absolutely hysterical?
This
the president
picture,
of the United States looking on at a kid picking his nose, and a germaphobe president to boot.
Yeah. Yes.
This picture is forever. This needs to be hung in the White House.
Yes.
Because this is like classic moment. And look at his face. He's just like.
You know what would look good on that desk right there?
It makes me think of Sorry, go ahead.
You know what would look good on that desk?
A coaster.
Trump mugshot coaster. That's what would look good on.
That would.
You need to
send him.
Oh, I know. I'm going to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've got to find a way that he actually gets it. Now, I know if I send it to 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue, it'll probably go through 50,000 security checks to make sure it's not like.
Give it to Marsha Blackburn.
Oh.
There you go.
I could do
She
that.
Could probably get it on the desk.
Could do that.
Yeah, I mean, give it to a senator that's here.
I could do that.
And
I didn't think about that.
And then ask them, hey, can you make sure he gets this?
And give her one that's like one of the We the People ones or whatever.
Yeah.
And give her 3 of them. Give her the Trump mugshot because she'll love that too.
Yeah.
So
I don't plan to give him just a coaster. I mean,
I look at this. I'm sorry, and I keep thinking of Major Payne. You ever watch Major Payne?
Yes.
You nasty little worm.
Yes.
Yes.
This is great. This needs to be.
I'm glad you found that because I haven't seen that.
I'm glad you found that too.
X is getting better. The search function on X is really improving.
Good.
Like you're able to find stuff like really quick. It used to be you would search and search.
Oh,
and
it's
never find
awful.
it. Now it's like
You get right to it.
boom, boom, man.
Yeah.
Grok is the one helping out with that.
So great.
Do you know it passed ChatGPT as the number one
really?
AI program? Yeah.
You know, I have yet to use an AI anything yet. Not a single thing.
Oh, anything. Look, history. I do this all the time. I'll be sitting and thinking of watching a TV show, and it'll have a historical reference. I'll be like, ChatGPT, give me a summary of this event, and it'll. You can sit there. It'll read it to you if you want it to.
Wow.
And once
It sounds an awful lot like Google.
That blows my mind, man. I mean, that really does blow my mind.
You know what blows my mind is last night I wanted to watch the next episode of Reacher, right? But it's Thursday. I get easily confused. It's Tuesday, not Thursday. So, and I said to my TV, Reacher. You know how you do that? Like, for some reason, you can't just speak normal. You've got to pause and you've got to wait and you've got to really overpronounce everything. You're like, like, I mean, I don't know.
That's such.
Maybe it's just me.
It puts me in the mind of like a 90-year-old. Reacher.
Yeah.
Trying to work like electronics.
So, like, you got to be careful with that thing because you'll be like, Little Women, and it'll pull up. And you're sitting there with your 7-year-old going like, no, dear God, no. So you got to be really careful how you pronounce things. But yeah, so that's AI. So if you've ever done that, that's all, that's AI, right? You use AI for that.
That's
so
true.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, here's perfect hair. Speaking of
Listen,
AI.
John Roberts.
Speaking of lizard people, let's see what he has to say.
That is a glorious head of hair.
He does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Doesn't hold a candle to Ben's. I was just commenting on Ben's hair earlier. As a bald gentleman, which I'd never take my hat off on camera.
No.
But, you can go back and look at my videos from the past. I did. It didn't work.
Okay, I think this needs, first of all, let's just say this is probably going to, what more do we have? Because this is
the last one.
This is a big one.
Yeah, this is very concerning.
Yeah.
Yeah. Are we ready?
Yeah.
And we
Opener to this one, the Maryland State House advancing a bill that would permit condoms to be sold in vending machines on public school campuses, including preschools. Republicans in the legislature say it's going too far. Maryland State Delegate Kathy Shalega is calling on parents to wake up, and she joins us now. So here's what Maryland Department of Legislative Services says about this bill that's making its way through the State House. This bill repeals the misdemeanor prohibition against an associated penalty for selling or offering for sale a contraceptive or contraceptive device by means of a vending machine or other automatic device at a kindergarten, nursery school, elementary school, or secondary school. And I think a lot of people at home are saying, what?
All of us on that, well, most of us on the House floor said exactly that. What is this? So we offered an amendment on the bill on second reading when you can amend a bill to just say, look, just high schools. We wouldn't like that either. The Republicans and the Maryland Freedom Caucus would not like that, but they rejected it.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of schools that are teaching abstinence, right?
Well,
and maybe abstinence until marriage in a best case scenario, maybe just abstinence until you're in college, but to put condoms in a vending machine puts it right there in front of you. But why? What justification is there for doing this at a nursery school or a kindergarten? I mean, unless you just want to make a very broad brush law that doesn't take a lot to interpret it. Let's say, put it that way.
It makes no sense whatsoever. And, the intent may have at some point been high school, but when they rejected our move to just make it high school again, I, like you, would say you're discriminating against traditional families that don't want their 14-year-old daughter going to a high school and walking down the hall in front of a sex vending machine.
Right.
But, putting this in a daycare or nursery school and, into a preschool, I am a grandmother of two beautiful 10 and 7-year-old girls, and I can't imagine them walking down the hall and seeing a colorful condom vending machine with condoms and other things in it, and then having to have a conversation with a 7-year-old. Mom, what's a condom?
Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to hit pause.
What's in that machine?
Well, maybe they're thinking if we run out of balloons to make balloon animals, we just go to the vending machine. So here's what Maryland State Delegate Nicole Williams said, trying to justify the move. Listen here.
It's not dictating what school systems should and shouldn't do. It's not mandating anybody to do anything or suggesting that they should do something. It's just removing a criminal penalty. The sky is not going to fall if we pass this bill.
I guess what she's saying there is it's not like you're going to suddenly see condoms at preschool. It just removes the criminal penalty, and then schools are free to do what they want to do with this.
Well, that's how they start, right, John? They start by saying, oh, don't object to this. But in the meantime, there was another bill on the Health and Government Operations Committee to put Plan B, birth control pills, all kinds of things in high schools. So, they're playing chess. Plan, first move, we remove the penalties so we can get the vending machine in the high school and other schools as well. And then next year, they're going to come back and they're going to put birth control pills, Plan B, condoms, as I told them on the House floor. Next year, you'll come back to regulate it.
Yeah.
I mean, this is how it works.
And all of this at the same time as they're also taking away a parental opt-out provision for education about gender identity in schools, too. So, and then we'll keep watching your Safe Girls in Sports bill, which you've been trying to advance. We're watching what's going on in Maine. And in fact, State Delegate Laurel Libby will be joining us next hour to talk about that. Kathy Szeliga, great to meet you.
Great to meet you.
Okay. The slippery slope.
Oh, boy, it is.
The first thing when I hear about that is like, not even high school. No, not high school.
I don't feel that, because what you're doing essentially by offering this is to promote it.
Absolutely.
And so if you're, when I was a kid, there was a push about, teen pregnancy and everything else. And it was like this big move to don't be a mom until you're like 20, get out of high school, stop having babies in high school. It was a big deal. Well, abstinence became a topic. Like, if you can wait, you need to wait. We also had a different kind of health education than the kids have now. And I think that is a big thing that we have to realize, is that our kids are not getting the same kind of health education as we did. We had home ec too. Like we learned how to cook things, and we learned, which they desperately need to get back to. But it was different then. Now it's more of a health education without morality.
Yeah, the morality's gone.
Where the morality existed where we were. It was like, you know what? That is still reserved for adults. Yeah. You're not an adult. And I'm sorry. I have an 18-year-old at home who I love, and she's 18. Is she an adult? She thinks so. But 18 is a number. It's not a rite of passage. I mean, it is in some capacities, but there's so much that you learn from 18 to 25.
Oh yeah.
That it's like, where do you call that an adult?
Well, your brain isn't even fully developed until you're 24.
Exactly.
Right. Right.
This is why
some of us never stop developing. So, but yes, so this belongs in an adult category. Elementary school? No way.
And and I get what they're saying. They're not, that lady was on there that was describing it. Not the lady with John Roberts, the other lady, who said the sky is not falling. I get that they're not mandating it being put in, but the choice is still there to do it. There shouldn't be a choice. How is there a choice to do it?
Why is there a choice to do it?
I mean,
why offer that in a high school? Why offer that even?
Why is that an open thing to be like, if you want to put it in there, you can.
Right.
Well, they do it under the guise of freedom, right? It's like, well, we're just removing a restriction. You can do it. It's a freedom of choice, right? You can choose to do this thing. But like you all were saying, it's the absence of the morality. The morality says that kids that age are not able to consent. Kids that age should not be in sexual relationships.
Yeah.
And by removing it and say we're just going to remove the law, remove the penalty, which is really an act of freedom, is what we're doing. It's so schools can choose to do that. And
Or
if parents choose to let their kids to force the sexualization of their kids on them, then it's it's an act of freedom, right? It's supporting the parents. It's supporting this. There's so many nefarious ways you can.
Oh yeah.
calling evil good and good evil.
Yeah.
Yep.
Or is this, and you know how I feel about teachers unions, right? I love them. So, or
That's sarcasm, right?
yes, or
I know. I've known him for years, and I have no idea when he's being sarcastic at all. I can never tell.
or
Sometimes your intonation needs to change a little, Jeremy.
is this so that the teachers have access to this stuff?
I was going to say, if it was elementary schools, those would be the only ones that would benefit, I guess, from that.
Mm-hmm.
I've wondered if it's because of kindergarten. Come on, they're saying that.
I mean,
come on, Oh, that's cool.
Or they could post online which schools have them, and guys could just randomly from anywhere could just drop. Oh, it's a condom dispensary.
Mm-hmm.
Also preschool condom dispensary.
Yeah, I mean that's safe.
Yeah, exactly.
No, I do just think it's the same thing with transing the kids, right? You talk about having there's a woman that was she was all over X, and talking about her new baby, right? It was like 2 years old. It was a boy. She was dressing it up like a girl and saying, "My kid is a trans kid." Already, this, gurgling little infant
who just learned how to say milk.
Right. And so you got to remove all those barriers. If you want to move the goalpost, I guess you could say, move the standard to as the youngest age possible. You got to remove all the other sexual barriers too, because transgenderism is nothing but a sexual preference.
Yeah,
That's
totally.
all it is.
So here we go. This is all. Let's just wrap it up. We got 15 minutes till 10:30, and this is when our viewers spike. I'm blaming all this on feminism.
There we go.
I just said it. The communist agenda is to tear down the fabric of the family, and it started when moms went back to work. The matriarch is gone. It is no more. You've got this fluid family thing that is easily dismantled because there is no patriarch. There is no matriarch. If you are the patriarch, you're the enemy.
That's
because you're the lawgiver. I mean, you're the one. You're the hammer. I used to fear my father coming home.
Yeah.
My mother, not so much.
Nope.
Love her.
Yep.
And I go to her when I was scraped, but dear Jesus, Dad's home. Right? And I've done 11 things that I shouldn't have done. And my mother's response to all 11 was, wait till your father gets home. And so I was scared. And it's a healthy fear. It also emulates, I believe, the fear of the Lord, which is the beginning of wisdom, where you go, I know my dad loves me, but he's going to knock me out.
Yeah.
He's like, this is going to hurt because we chastise the ones that we love. When you get rid of the patriarch and matriarch figure, chaos unfolds. So it's the unraveling of the family, which the morality at that point, gone.
And who is the person in the family that the devil aims for? The male.
Do you know how
if he can dismantle the male, he's got the family.
But this goes back to history.
Oh, well, yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Started in the beginning.
Yes.
Who did the devil go after? The male.
Yep.
Who did he use to go after the male? The female.
Yes, exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
And this is why I think it just follows the pattern. The feminism is first and foremost satanic. Sorry if you're a feminist, but it is. The whole agenda, everything around it, to replace the patriarch with the matriarch, who no longer wants to be the matriarch. I'm going to instead be the patriarch and matriarch, right? You can't have it both ways.
Right.
You can't be the nurturer and the discipliner.
Right.
It doesn't work. God created us separate and equal.
That's the thing. He created us separate for a purpose. And it's not that we are saying that women can't have good jobs or any of this stuff. No, you just look back at how God designed the whole thing, and it's not how it's supposed to be.
Right. And I mean, everybody's different. Every family's different.
Yeah,
every,
absolutely.
sure.
Absolutely. Yep.
So you got stay-at-home dads. Great.
Not
You've got-
saying women aren't important. Women are very important. Like,
yes.
We've gotten this so mixed up.
But
man.
that's part of feminism.
I know, God, it's crazy.
Because you've lost your identity, right?
Yes.
To a point where now men are women.
Yeah.
So it's gone that far where we can't even protect women from men who pretend to be women.
Oh,
Because
yeah.
then all of a sudden we're bigots and we're
Absolutely.
against feminism. So
Don't hold the door open for me.
I've had that happen twice. I've had it happen twice, and I'm like, I know you can. So I shut it on her then. I'm like, I don't care. I push her back and shut it. Walk back in. Like, yeah, you're right. Hold on. Close the door. Get it yourself.
I will say, though, that it's not just the women trying to be more like men. It's also trying to make men more like women. So this feminizing men and starting at a young age, telling them that more feminine qualities are more feminine qualities are better qualities. The more closer you can get to a woman, the more you're going to relate to a woman.
Mm-hmm.
But that's not how it's supposed to work. Masculinity is in and of itself is supposed to be a thing.
Yes.
Well, it's toxic.
Right. So you demonize what it is to be a man, say become more like a woman, and then you have men who are walked over by women and they lose the leadership position in their household, and the family structure starts to crumble.
That's
right.
it.
And so we end up with stuff like this, where they're wanting to put condoms in a school, and it's up to the men to man up and be like, you know what? That's not going to happen on my watch. Where are the men in Maryland and Maine? Where are the men in Maine? I know there's some men in Maine. You've got syrup. You've got trees cutting down stuff. There's men in Maine. Where are you when it comes to these girls getting the stuff knocked out of them in high school competitions? Where are the men that are going to stay? Oh, that's right. We've been feminized and demonized so much that we're silent. And this, I think, what is so redeeming. I don't know if you guys have seen the fake Trump. You can say retard and.
Dude, I've seen that with the meme. Yeah.
The first time I saw that, I'm like, this is so wrong.
I sent that to Katie, but I was like, oh, this
is so wrong.
Hilarious.
And yet there's a part of me that goes, you know what? This is so, it's wrong. It's wrong.
Yes, it is.
But it's like, you should be able to say whatever you want to say. That's the point. And that's a man. Why they hate Musk is because he's in there acting like a man would act and go, you know what? This is wrong. Clean it out.
Yeah.
That's what a man would do. He'd come in and say, this is absolutely preposterous.
Yep.
We're going to axe some people here.
Yep.
And you're going to deal with it. And that's their response. Rather than coddling in the corner and saying, I'm sorry, like Dan Crenshaw's going to do, they go, deal with it. Suck it up. Respond by Friday to this email or you're out. I'm going to give you a second chance. They should have never done that, but they did. But this all starts back in the 50s when men and women had this riff of, I'm not going to be stay at home anymore. I need to go to work. And I'm empowered, and I'm this, and I'm that. And yes, you've always been empowered. You've been cherished. You've been loved. This is our job as men, and we did a horrible job of it, right? The mistreatment of women, all the sexism, everything else. I get it. I get where it's come from. The communists played into it because if they can split the family, they can split the country.
Oh, yeah.
And now where are we? Half of marriages end in divorce, right? I mean, you look at they're winning. They're winning.
Katie and I have talked about this. The amount of people that are getting divorced in our age that we know, it's like, what is happening? What is going on?
I think our threshold for relationships, or for the difficulties of relationships, it's so
We just
low.
can't stomach it.
It's so low, and there's a lot of things to pull us apart, right? I mean, there's social media, people engulfed in just social media and not spending time with each other. Work. Same thing we're talking about. You're a workaholic on two sides, and it puts an immense amount of strain on relationships. And on top of that, the normalizing of divorce. So many people.
It's just not a big deal.
Yeah, it's
We
like
just move on.
my parents got divorced.
Let's do it again.
Yeah, everybody got divorced.
Yeah.
So it's not. It's as opposed to taking it for the covenant made before God that it is. You take it as something done in a courthouse that can be annulled with the swipe of a judge's pen and a lawyer. And that's what marriage is to too many people.
Well, because it's temporary, right? Everything is now. It's just, and it's how I feel. That's what really matters is my truth.
That's
my truth.
That's the phrase, man.
How I feel. We've become so selfish that it's my body, my choice, mine.
Yep.
I'll murder because it's mine.
Yep.
Everything is about me. Everything is me-centric, tiny, and it's time-based. You know what? The one thing I would say to everybody with teenagers that listens to us is the biggest thing you can instill in your kids is that this is just for today, buddy. This is just how you're feeling right now. Because it's all temporary. Things change. We serve a God of seasons. This is what I tell my son just the other night. We serve a God of seasons. So how you're feeling right now, in 2 weeks, man, is going to be totally different.
Oh, yeah.
And I shared with him how I broke up with a girlfriend in high school and was so I hadn't even reached high school yet. That's how like sophomoric this is. Sophomoric, literally. Before sophomoric. But me and this girlfriend wasn't, so we broke up and I was just so devastated. I just wanted to end my life right then and there at 13. Because this was the end of my world.
Yeah.
This is it. This is all I had was her.
You got nothing else.
You got nothing to live for.
Nope.
Nothing to live for. Nope. There is no future without her.
That's right.
Now I can't even remember who the her was.
Yeah.
So it's all temporary. It's all temporary. And when we live for the temporary, we miss what God has for us in the future. And so, but yeah, this whole thing with condoms in classrooms, and it's just so incredibly insane that we are still having this argument with we won. We think we won. We haven't won. We've pushed the needle. And yeah, lots of people are losing their jobs and we're saving money in the government and things look like they're going the right way. This element still exists and isn't leaving.
Awesome. Right.
This element still exists and isn't leaving. And they're listening to the same echo chamber.
Yep.
And so what they're getting fed is the same thing that they believe and have been indoctrinated to believe, that being a man is toxic. It's not right. We're wrong. We're just wrong for speaking. We shouldn't breathe, actually, because our carbon footprint is bigger than a woman's.
You're already behind the 8 ball if you're born male.
Oh, and white, forget about it.
Oh, buddy.
If you're a white man,
yeah,
you can't get a car loan. What? Right?
What?
Who are we kidding here?
I mean,
Jared hasn't weighed in Jared hasn't weighed in for a minute because he found the one good thing and the one redeeming thing that we've seen on the internet from a teacher who is doing justice for our kids. And this woman needs a raise.
I had to shut up so I could find that video because I had it in my notes.
Yeah,
this is what we're talking about.
Yes. This is beautiful.
Ladies, we're going to learn how to allow a gentleman to open the door for you. You're special. You're amazing. So it is okay for a gentleman to open the door. Your dad can open the door. Your big brother, your grandpa can open the door. Your brother can open the door. Your uncle. If there's a gentleman with you, allow him to open the door. So Trayvon is my gentleman. He's my little guy. And we're going to walk to the door. And what you do, ladies, when you arrive at the door, let's say this is the door. When you arrive at the door, ladies watching, you stand at the side. You do not reach for the knob because there's a gentleman with you. You stand at the side and then allow the gentleman to open the door. We're going to do it with this door, though. Okay? Are you ready, Trevor? Yes. Watch, watch, watch. Ready? And we're walking to the door. Ta-da, ta-da, ta-da. Ladies, stand aside gracefully. And then the gentleman will open the door for me. And he will not go through the door. He will stand over here and hold the door.
Pull that door. Come on.
Open the door.
Pull it.
Stand over here.
Nobody said chivalry was easy.
Pull the door open so I can go through.
He's
then
doing
ladies,
his best.
When you step through the door, you tell him, "Thank you so much." And then he says what?
You're welcome.
Look at me in the eyes.
Eye contact.
Look at me in the eyes.
Go through, and he follows. Come on through, Trayvon. And that's how we do it, ladies. Okay? Okay. Stand right here. Hold the door open. Hold the door open for me. Stand here. Gentlemen, you would not go in the room. You would stand out and hold the door. Then I go through as the lady. Thank you so much. What
My
is
pleasure.
good? That I do. You follow suit.
He's got a future
and then
at Chick-fil-A
we're
if ever
on
that
our
kid
way
did
to
it.
Yep.
Give me a high five.
There
Good
you
job.
go.
Give him a-
Chivalry is not
I love
dying.
it.
It's not, well, it is, but not in this. Not in
And
this.
so what do you
Not in
say
that
to
classroom.
So what do you say to all these students that are going to learn
Yeah.
by our higher learning centers and by their, friends that, this is wrong. This is wrong. This isn't right. You're going to tell them that their kindergarten teacher was wrong? She filled their head with a bunch of nonsense? No, this is what needs to be taught to kids. It's respect, and it's just like she started out saying, girls, ladies, you are special.
That's it. I mean,
it's reinforcing everything that the Word of God teaches. It reinforces everything that you should believe as a Christian man.
you're not less than. You are cherished.
You are cherished.
That's why this is
I might tear up when I say it, but God took women from the rib because it's the closest to a man's heart. Come on.
That's
There you
beautiful stuff.
Isn't that beautiful?
That's-
He knew what he
that
was
is-
doing.
Man.
Yeah, is this mic still on? Hot mic. Hot mic. So yeah, to all our feminists out there, I just want to say, boo, boo,
Who is?
boo. You think you've got it all together.
If that video bothered you, you have a huge problem.
You are the problem.
You are the problem.
You are the
Yes.
problem. You're the problem. You're the root. What you believe is the root of the problem of so many things that ail this nation,
Yep.
ail society. When you got rid of the male figurehead, the patriarch, you got rid of everything. And the fact that men aren't even allowed to be men anymore is so incredibly toxic. We've got so far to go before we're back to a place where, we've got a masculine. Our administration is. I think what bothers people so much is that it's hyper masculine, right? It's not. It's hyper masculine. It's not just masculine. It's hyper masculine,
Right.
Where you went from Biden, who is very as feminine as it gets, right?
Yeah, frail, weak.
Data.
You've got-
non-existent.
You've got Transportation Secretary Pete Buttigieg.
Yeah. Hi.
You've got Alejandro Mayorkas,
Hello.
who is replaced by, God, what was he? Dang, how am I forgetting that?
Oh, you're talking about, not Tom Homan, but he was, Mayorkas was replaced by Kristi Noem.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Also very masculine.
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
And
she'll
Tulsi
beat you.
Gabbard is.
She'll beat you down.
Oh,
Yes. Not that she's. They're strong feminine women.
Yes,
like
yes.
Tulsi Gabbard is still feminine.
here's
but
the difference.
She's not afraid to pick up an AR-15 and a pistol.
Here's the difference. That's a woman
Yeah.
who's not a feminist.
Right.
Feminists are not strong women.
Right.
That's a strong woman.
Yep.
That's a woman that holds a position of power. She's got strength, inner strength, and you have to be really strong to go, you know what? I'm not the patriarch. Thankfully, I'm not the patriarch. I don't have to shoulder this burden alone. I can do life with others.
Yep.
Instead of trying to show the world that I'm the rock star, I'm okay not being a rock. That's strength to me. What we see in these other, women that are so incredibly boisterous and loud, and it's just like the Joy Reids and where you sit back and go, what is this?
It's their misinterpretation of what it is to be masculine. They say they want to take on the role of a masculine man, and they want to do it by crushing men, and they think that's masculine.
Yeah.
An actual man who crushes a woman is not a masculine man. He's a coward, and he is doing the wrong thing, and he's not living in a godly relationship with his wife.
Not at all. He's
trying
like
to crush
Dan
her.
Crenshaw.
Right. Well, I don't know about his relationship with his wife. I won't get into
Is
that.
this still on?
I won't get into that. But it's just a false representation
Totally.
because a man in a leadership position in the house is not there to crush his wife. He's there to support his wife and to help his wife and to provide for his wife.
Hello.
And to bless it, be a blessing to his wife as the wife is a blessing to him. So they just don't understand it. That's their problem. As they say, crush men, make them more feminine. I want to become more masculine, and I'm going to. He's a little worm to me. Is the way
I'm the dominant one.
I'm the dominant
Right,
one.
I'm
And
the
that's-
dominant one.
That's not even what it is to be
And
a
here's
man
the
in a
thing.
relationship.
I think you learn as you really look into this whole thing. The dominant one, the patriarch of the family, isn't the vocal decision maker. He's not domineering.
Right.
I mean, I think this is the the script that has gotten flipped is that they picture that term as somebody that is domineering, somebody that's going to be controlling, somebody that that's a narcissist. That's right. Totally a different category. We're talking about the true patriarch who says very little. You run your life, you run the show, you run the house, you get what you want, you do it. I'm here to provide and back you up 100%. And when I have a decision that needs to be made as a family, it's ultimately going to fall on me. So I'm going to be the one that's going to say, yeah, we're doing this, or no, we're not doing this. Right. But by and large, it's a team effort.
But he takes the whole family into account. He doesn't take just himself into account.
Bingo.
Yes.
Bingo. And he's always, I'm doing this for us.
Yes.
I'm doing this because of us. I'm doing this, So I think that's the other half is where you've got, and maybe the church is also at fault for this, because we've taught men, in the past, you gotta be the dominant factor in your family, and where blah, blah, blah. No, dominance is not, true manhood isn't about domination of your wife. Right? It's not. That is the opposite of what true manhood and masculinity is. True manhood and masculinity is adoration, love, cherishing.
And responsibility.
And yeah, well, that's a big one, right? Because we've got a lot of men that are not responsible.
You should feel that burden. If you're a man and you've got a wife and you've got kids and you are, I feel it all the, I mean, I don't have kids, but I do have a wife, and I feel an immense responsibility for anything and everything. And I
mean you're not up till 4 a.m. playing Call of Duty eating Cheetos?
Absolutely not. I haven't touched a video game in a long time because but it's just that constant, and it's not easy. It's never going to be, I don't even think it'll ever be easy, but you should have that devotion, that drive, and that motivation to, at the very least, work your fingers to the absolute bone for the benefit of your family. And if you don't feel that and you think, it's hard, and, that's for whatever reason, that's a reason to divorce, or that's a reason to, that's letting weakness into your life. We're going to do whatever we can. It's not, like I say, it's not going to be easy. We're going to go through hard times. We're going to go through great times, but you should always have that drive. And if you lose it, check yourself.
Yeah.
And if you're living right with God, and you're having conversations with him on a regular basis, and you're understanding where you sit in your biblically based marriage, it really becomes quite simple to understand, but it's never going to stop being difficult to go through.
Well, I think you look at it and go, okay, the example of Christ as the husband in the church is the bride, right? How easy is it for him to love us? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, we are really unlovable.
Yeah.
Some more than others. I'm not going to lie, Dan Crenshaw, but we are all unlovable, and we are all full of sin. We all make mistakes, and he forgives us every time, and he's always there, and he's always in a constant, perpetual state of, I love you. And that is marriage. Where you sit down, I can't tell you the amount of times, my wife doesn't listen to this program, so I'm able to say billions. I mean, we've been married.
Tonight will be the first time
150,000 times this week she has let me down. No, I'm kidding. But I'm sure I let her down that many times.
Yes.
But you just do it. You go through life together. There's a commitment. There's an honor. There's a respect. There's a mutual thing where you go, you know what? I know when all the chips are down, I might not want to talk to you, but you're going to be there for me.
Yeah.
It's good. We're good. And it goes in ebbs and flows. It goes in seasons.
Oh, yeah.
Marriage is sometimes phenomenal, sometimes hard, but you stay the course because that's what men do. We should have just called this the man show this tonight. Men episode. Condoms and vending machines. See what happens? Condoms and vending machines get us fired up to go back to the root of the problem, and it's sin.
Yep.
It comes back to sin. I mean, and how do the Catholics stand for this? Isn't that some form of birth control that they should be against? Because, I don't know. Not this Pope.
Not this Pope.
Yeah.
He's the Antichrist.
Some of them are against it. I mean, some of them... There's some Catholic organizations that actually come out and fight the right way. But, I mean, I thought that Maine and Maryland were full of them.
Maine and Maryland are full of them.
Maine shocks me as being. I would just think Maine. I've been to Maine once, and that just feels to me like a manly place.
But it's
they elected Susan Collins. I mean,
I know,
but it's not. It's like
I
Washington.
guess maybe the part that we were in.
It's like Seattle and the Washington corridor up there, right? Like it's like, oh
I mean,
man,
Maine
this
should
is
be bright
burly.
red.
Everybody's wearing
It's just-
flannel.
yeah.
Is that a bottle he's drinking out of with a nipple on it? Like that's the kind of manly that you get. Like this is where you sit back and go, no, you might be the brawny guy.
Yeah.
Right on the paper
Yes.
towel thing.
Yeah, yeah.
You might be that guy, but you sound like Urkel. You're not. This doesn't make any sense to me. The way you dress, the way you look, and then the way you act are two totally different people.
Mhm.
And there's so many of them is common there, where it's like, this is my truth. I don't know. You take off your flannel, put on a rainbow T-shirt, and we're good. But instead, they dress flannel and
sip chai latte.
That's it. That's how it goes out there.
They use that pretty slick stuff on their
Yeah. Oh yeah. They beard up,
they
beard
got
grease.
the-
Beard grease. Yes.
Have you ever used that stuff before?
Beard oil?
Yeah.
I don't anymore, but I have before.
When my beard, I have to every now and then I have to shave it, and I had to shave it, and when it grows back out, every time I tell myself I'm gonna get some of that beard oil.
Yeah.
Get it.
You know what I use?
I'm gonna lie, it's not bad.
Real man uses WD-40, and that works really.
what?
It works wonders.
And
You smell great.
It's a distinct scent.
It is. You smell great because it's got fish oil in it. So it is.
Yeah.
And mixes well with pizza when you get it.
WD-40 has. It is the universal item that every man needs a can of WD-40.
Absolutely. And you know what I love the most about it is that when I oil up good, I can slip my head through the stair rails and pull myself back out. Otherwise, I'm stuck. But because I've WD-40'd, I can get in and get out.
We have completely.
I was going to say WD-40 duct tape, crescent wrench, hammer, and a pocket knife, and you can do just about.
There's your T-shirt
and a set of vice grips.
There's your T-shirt.
Ice cream. Yeah.
You can do just about. Yeah.
There's your T-shirt.
There you go. I
There it
will
is.
survive the apocalypse.
T-shirts coming soon. $40 a piece.
$40 a piece.
I'll say all proceeds go to Bristol.
I swear,
Bristol Leather Company.
So I'm basically getting paid. Yeah, okay. Yes.
It's like Obama trademark in Obamacare. $39 million later,
Oh my God.
Man, we have derailed. All right, 10:38. It's time to sign off. If you have anything you'd like us to talk about, because clearly we need some subjects and direction.
Send your questions to Dr. Jeremy Briscoe at Yahoo.
Doctor. Braver than the rest at gmail.com. Again, we love your comments. We love your questions. We love your input. So feel free. In fact, tonight we didn't do any shout outs, but we will next time around. We'll, if you got something you want to say.
We had so much flipping stuff to cover.
Yeah, so much. I'm going to put this up. I have to because it's just
Yeah.
breaking. It literally just came out.
This just came out. We might go to 11.
Oh, but
Come on.
Shoot, tomorrow's going to be interesting.
So this just came out. Tomorrow is going to be
Literally
fantastic.
just came
You know
out.
what's funny? I said
Wow.
last week, hopefully this week we have something to talk about in the Epstein world, or at least P. Diddy world, right? Because we want accountability. We serve a God of justice. We want justice. We want accountability. Wow. To begin release.
She knew she had to do it. Okay. All right. Holy
It's going to be a fun weekend.
Yes.
If you guys want to come back and live stream on Continue Freedom, I'm probably going to be doing some stuff.
We might have to do a special episode of Braver with Continued Freedom.
Yeah, do a simulcast.
Because
Go through
it. And listen, if helicopters are flying over my house and stuff later, I'm fine. Everything's fine.
Okay.
Everything's fine. Oh man. Keep your eyes to the skies. Our king is returning. Braver than the rest. Till next week.